So today I'm going to attempt to explain exposure clipping and why you should stay away from it. And just a quick reminder that I make videos like this all the time to help you with your photography and with your videography. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. In the notes below, you'll also find links to all of my social media platforms, so it'll be really good to connect with you on those as well. So this one's going to be a little bit difficult to explain, but if you stick with me, I think it'll make sense to you at the end of it. So exposure clipping occurs when you overexpose an image or when you underexpose an image. And what that means is that the picture is either too bright or it's too dark. So if you're taking a picture of someone in a nice bright sunny day, if you overexpose the picture, you may find that things like the sky will just turn completely white. And the same thing happens if you underexpose it, then you'll find that the shadows may be completely black. Now, why does this happen? The way that a digital camera works is that all the pixels in the sensor will record the luminosity, that is the brightness of the scene in front of it. And if you overexpose your image, then you can hit the limit of what the camera can see as far as the brightest thing in the image or the darkest thing in the image. And if you divide that into a range of, say, from 0 to 100, let's call it, let's go work with a percentage here, because that's probably the easiest way to describe this. And let's assume for a second that it's a black and white picture so that we can take the color out of the equation so we can try to understand this. But if you take a picture of, let's set up a scene here for a second. You're taking a picture of the sky. And in the sky, you've got this beautiful blue sky or orange sky. Well, it doesn't matter because it's black and white, but you've got this beautiful sky and you've got some clouds in there. Now, the clouds are going to be white and the sky is going to be, it's not going to be white, it's going to be a little bit gray, because blue renders as a form of gray, obviously, on a black and white image. Now, if you've exposed the image correctly, you'll see the cloud and you will see the sky. But if you've overexposed the image, and this is where the problem occurs, is that once the clouds reach, in order to get white, let's call it, the luminosity of that pixel has reached 100%. So now it can't register anything brighter than 100%, because there is no such thing as 105% when it comes to luminosity. So it will remain at 100%. Your sky may be, say, 80 or 90%. But when you overexpose a picture and you bring up the sky up to 100 because it's now too bright, the brightness of the sky and the brightness of the cloud are exactly the same, because the cloud can't go beyond 100%. So they're going to be at 100% and the sky is going to be at 100%, which means the whole thing's going to be white. And the misconception here is that you can fix a lot of that in post. And there are some situations where you can fix it in post. But when you clip it, when you truly clip an image, you cannot fix it in post, because now the value of the sky and the value of the cloud are exactly the same. So when you bring your exposure down in Lightroom, you're bringing them both down at the same time. So then your sky will be 99 and your cloud will be 99 and 98 and 97. Both of them come down at the same rate. And because there's no difference in brightness, you've just got white on white. So it's like if you painted white on top of a white surface, you're not going to be able to see it. And that's why it's important to really pay a lot of attention when you've got an image that counts and you need to get it right. You need to make sure that the exposure is correct. And what a lot of us do is we're guided by the image on the back of the camera, the little JPEG preview that you get. And that's going to provide you with a generally accurate, I guess, interpretation of your exposure, but it's not 100% accurate. And you may still be clipping the image and not realizing it because the screen is just too small and it doesn't have the resolution. until you get home and you see it on the big computer, and then you notice that there's some areas in the highlights or in the shadows that have no detail, and that is why there's no way to differentiate between the really, really dark stuff and the stuff that's not quite as dark, because they both register as black. So there is one sure way to get around this and to ensure that your exposure is correctly, and that is by using the histogram. And I will make a separate video on how to read a histogram. If you don't know how to do that, you might want to subscribe so that you don't miss that video. But I will go into detail into the histogram and how you can use it to try to ensure really that you're not going to be clipping your images in the either highlights or in the shadows. So hopefully this has made sense to you. If you did like this video, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and maybe share it out with some of your friends if you think that they might find this type of content useful. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next video.